The cold season came early this year. Nick sat close to the fire, his hands cracked and red from washing dishes all day at an eatery in town. His older brother Ken lay on a hard bed, coughing weakly under a thin blanket. The wind slipped through the walls of their small wooden house, and the hills outside were covered in thick fog that never lifted. Their parents were farm workers who died a few years ago, leaving the boys to fend for themselves. Nick watched his brother's chest rise and fall, slow and uneven. A nurse from the next village had said Ken's lungs were weak. He needed special medicine, the kind that cost more than Nick earned in a month. Still, Nick worked. Every morning before dawn, he walked miles to town, his shoes sinking in the wet dirt. He washed dishes, scrubbed floors, and carried heavy boxes for anyone who would pay. He ate little and saved every coin. Each night, by the light of the fire, he counted them one by one. The villagers liked Nick. He was quiet and polite, always working, never asking for more than he needed. He often visited the local medicine and herb shop across a busy road in town. The shopkeeper, Mr. Quinn, saw him come in with small piles of coins each time. Mr. Quinn said kindly,
"Here's your medicine. You're a good little brother."
Each week, Nick handed over his coins to Mr. Quinn for the little bottle of medicine, hoping it would cure his brother's illness. Nick smiled with hope that soon his brother would be well again. One night, Nick returned home from work, carrying a small bag of rice and chicken. Ken was awake, his eyes tired.
"Did you eat today, little brother?"
Ken asked softly.
Of course I did.
Nick said, though it wasn't true.
"When I get better, I'll go back to work and buy you new shoes."
Nick laughed and ruffled his hair.
You just get better first. Tomorrow I'll buy your medicine.
That night, Ken was coughing less, and Nick let himself believe things were finally turning around. The next morning, he walked to the shop as soon as the sun rose. He placed the last of his coins on the counter.
That's everything. Can I have the medicine now?
Mr. Quinn's expression changed.
"Ah, Nick, there's a problem.
What do you mean?
The supplier stopped sending the medicine. They raised the price. It's too expensive now.
Well, how much is it?
It's going to cost twice as much now."
That much? I don't have enough.
He looked down at his coins.
"I'll tell you what. Give me what you have now, and I'll place the order with the supplier. Next week, you just give me more."
Nick handed over the money and left the shop in silence. He walked all the way home. He thought about finding another job so he could afford to buy the medicine. A few nights later, Ken's fever rose again. He shook and coughed until he could hardly breathe. Nick boiled water, pressed warm cloths to his chest, and thought, just a little bit longer. At dawn, Nick ran back to the shop.
Please, you must have something. Anything.
Quinn hesitated, then reached under the counter. He brought out a small glass bottle.
"This one's cheaper. It might help. Not the same, but close."
Nick didn't know the difference. He handed over every coin he had left and took the bottle home. He mixed the medicine with water and helped Ken drink it. For a while, his breathing got better. But before dawn, Ken's fever climbed again. His lips turned pale and his breathing grew faint. Nick shook him, crying out his name, telling Ken to wake up. In panic, Nick wrapped his brother in blankets and carried him down the road to town. His feet burned and the cold air cut through his throat. But he didn't stop. When he reached the small clinic in town, he burst through the door shouting for help. The nurses rushed to take Ken from his arms. "He's burning up," one said. "Get the doctor." Hours passed before the doctor spoke to Nick. His face looked serious. "You brought him just in time," he said. "We gave him some medications. He's stable now." A few days later, when Ken was well enough to smile again, Nick sat beside his bed. Ken's voice was still weak, but his eyes were bright. The doctor told Nick that they had found a cheap chemical mixture made for animals in Ken's body. The mixture is harmful to humans. He asked if Nick knew anything about it. The clinic reported the case to the authorities. The expensive bottles Nick bought from Quinn's shop weren't medicine at all. When the villagers heard what Quinn had done, they were furious. He had sold fake medicine to others too, some for greed, others out of carelessness. One lady had a seizure after taking Quinn's fake medicine. He denied knowing anything about the chemicals, but when the people he scammed confronted him, Quinn ran. That night, while fleeing down the road, he was hit by a truck. He survived, but the accident broke his spine. He could no longer walk. From then on, he lay in bed, staring at the ceiling of his small room. Some said it was karma. Others said it was justice. Days later, Ken returned home with Nick. The air was still cool, but spring was coming. The fog had begun to lift. Ken was fast asleep. His breathing had been calm and steady for days. Nick sat down beside him, feeling calmness in his heart. And for the first time in a long while, the world felt warm again.
Question 1. What kind of work did Nick do to earn money? A. Farming. B. Washing dishes and carrying boxes. C. Selling medicine. Two. Why did Nick need money so badly? A. To fix the house. B. To buy medicine for his brother. C. To buy a new house in the city. Three. What illness did Ken suffer from? A. Weak lungs. B. A broken leg. C. A heart condition. Four. Who sold Nick the medicine? A. The doctor. B. The hospital nurse. C. Mr. Quinn. Five. How did Nick save money for the medicine? A. By working long hours and skipping meals. B. By borrowing from neighbors. C. By selling his house. Six. What was the result of Ken taking the fake medicine? A. He quickly recovered. B. He became worse and nearly died. C. He had no reaction. Seven. Where did Nick take his brother when he became very ill? A. To the temple. B. To the shopkeeper's house. C. To a clinic in town. Eight. What did the doctor tell Nick about the fake medicine? A. It was meant for animals. B. It was harmless. C. It was too old to work. Nine. What happened to Mr. Quinn afterward? A. He fled the country. B. He was forgiven and returned to business. C. He became bedridden. Ten. What message does the story's ending suggest? A. That love and justice can survive hardship. B. That revenge is the best answer. C. That hard work always leads to wealth.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment,